Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Monday, June 7th, 2021. My name is Aubrey. We are in another eclipse week, and this is my astrological outlook for the day. So, today is Monday, heading into this week, like I said, we have another big eclipse that is coming up on the 10th. I believe that is Thursday. I could be wrong. Mercury's retrograde. But it's on the 10th. And so, again, this week, we are in another week of just massive change, massive upheaval. And this eclipse, though, as opposed to the last eclipse that was very much so about what we were releasing, what we're letting go of, what we're having to walk away from and move on from, that is no longer serving us, that we've gotten all that we can get from, that has served its purpose, and now we have to let it go and move on to greener pastures, new frontiers, the degree of the North Node, newly opened lands offer the pioneer new opportunities for experience, and that is what we are really doing right now, this month, in this eclipse season, and in this eclipse window, and in this eclipse week. And this week is a solar eclipse. It happens with the new moon in Gemini, and it is going to be bringing in a lot to move us forward down our path, align us with our purpose, bring in things that can help us now in the direction that we're moving going forward. So this is a big week of new beginnings and new opportunities and totally radically new things coming to us, and people and places and opportunities and ideas. Mostly, remember, this is happening in Gemini and Sagittarius. It's all about ideas, information, perspectives, messages. These are all going to be themes for the week. Also growing and learning in how we view things now as opposed to how we did in the past, maybe before this year, maybe before the last couple of years. And all of these things are just very highlighted this week, so something to keep in mind. Now, moving into the specific energetics for today, because we do still have a couple days before the eclipse, but the energy is activating, and all week is primed for this type of thing to be going on. Big changes. But today specifically, we have, in my opinion, we may see explosive information, eruptions in communication, and I think that may be a theme that we deal with today. I am expecting a day today for Monday filled with some very shocking and surprising information. Like I said, explosive information or eruptions in communications or messaging. I lost my place. Sorry. Communications or messages coming through regarding things that have happened in the past and are being re-examined or reevaluated now. Because remember, we have Mercury going retrograde and square to Neptune. This is bringing up a lot of information that may have been hidden or veiled or manipulated in some type of way in the past for re-examination, re-evaluation, thinking things through from a different perspective, and figuring out what really happened, or coming to new conclusions that help us understand the nature of our circumstances better so that we can move forward with more clarity. That is what is going on right now with the Mercury retrograde and square to Neptune. And there's a reason why I feel like this energy is just going to be explosive and eruptive today, and I'll get to that in a minute. But first, I want to say that we have the moon in Taurus today. Will be conjuncting Uranus and squaring Saturn to start the day in the early hours. This happens really early this morning, so it's really setting the tone for the whole day. And Uranus, remember, shocks, surprises, things happening out of the blue, things that we don't expect with the moon, so it's affecting our internal feelings about things and our emotions. So kind of like emotional upsets, emotional surprises possibly happening today, setting us up for, like I said, some potentially surprising or unsettling events or circumstances. And this is what I'm referring to today when I say that we may have some explosive information coming through, because Vulcan, the energy of Vulcan, like, it's very eruptive. It causes things to explode, erupt, bubble to the surface, and that will be coming into exact conjunction with Mercury retrograde today, who is going to be at 23 degrees of Gemini and is moving backwards to conjunct the sun in square and is also in square to Neptune. Mercury is moving backwards through Gemini. The sun is moving forwards through Gemini. So the sun and Mercury are going to come to another conjunction as Mercury is retrograding. But this degree, 23 degrees of Gemini, that is 3 fledglings high in a tree, okay? So this is all about, in my opinion, this specific degree where Vulcan will be conjuncting Mercury retrograde. And Vulcan, like I said, erupts things. It causes explosions and things to bubble to the surface. And we're talking about Mercury going retrograde in square to Neptune, exposing information that has been hidden so that we can get another look, get more information, reevaluate our perspectives based on new findings, new understandings, and new things that we're learning right now that have been clouded, shrouded in illusion, delusion, distortion, all of those Neptune themes, and also simultaneously gaining a stronger connection to our own internal spiritual guidance and intuition and internal compass and gut feelings, and cultivating our ability to be more guided by them as opposed to just following blindly what people say, because there's a lot of distortion in messaging right now, miscommunications, misinterpretations. So the other side of this is we are gaining a better ability to follow our own best judgment with this, which is going to be important and is important in sorting through all of this information and moving forward. But this degree, 23 degrees of Gemini, 3 fledglings high in a tree, this is about having a higher perspective and witnessing without necessarily participating. And to me, in the context of all that's going on today, this really just makes me think of like a little birdie told me type of thing, you know, like seeing what's going on, you know, having a higher view of it, witnessing it, and then maybe that information spreading. Okay, so explosive information comes back around today, and this could relate specifically also to the former president in some way, which I think is very interesting. And I had to talk about this today because I can't not, because he has played such a prominent role in everything, especially the media and information over the past few years. It basically revolves and has revolved around him and his doings and his ongoings and may or may not have beens and here nor theirs or whatever, everything. And this is the degree of his sun, 23 degrees of Gemini. And Vulcan will be there and Mercury retrograde will be there. So his energetic imprint is being very emphasized in this process today. And I wouldn't be surprised if there is a lot of information, or a lot of this information that comes out has to do with him in some way, or validates him in some way, or just relates to what he's doing now in some way. I expect him to rise again to a level of significant prominence in terms of his messaging and what he's saying as this hits. I think it's going to be a very prominent week for his presence, and he's going to be very empowered this week. So we might want to pay attention to what's going on with him this week. Another interesting thing that is highlighted today by the degree of the sun, where the sun is today for us, it's at 18 degrees of Gemini, which is also 1 degree off of conjunction with DJT's natal Uranus, okay? So yesterday on Sunday, the sun was conjuncting his natal Uranus. And so again, Uranus rules the future and technology. And if there were to be some type of social media platform or technology or something that he's building, and also rules shocks and surprises. So there may be some very shocking, surprising messaging and information regarding DJT that is coming out today, tomorrow, this week, because his Uranus is activated by the sun. His sun is being activated by Mercury retrograde and Vulcan today. That's eruptions and information on his sun. And his sun is actually, he was born during eclipse. His sun is actually also conjunct his north node too. So this is activating his north node, his destiny point. This is a big week. So it's a big week for us collectively, and it's also a big week for him. So we're going to want to pay close attention to what's going on with him this week, because there could be some major changes in terms of the narratives surrounding him this week and things of that nature. But anyways, the reason that I brought this up specifically, not having to do with that, is because this degree, 18 degrees of Gemini, where the sun is today, the Sabian symbol or the energetic frequency that this degree resonates to, if it were to be described in a picture form, is two Chinese men talking Chinese. And so, like, if we were to literally interpret, this energetic, it's like, so China and conversations in Chinese, happening specifically in Chinese, are highlighted today. And I'm sorry, but in the context of all of this, all the energetics going on, I just can't help but think that this has something to do with this global health crisis that we've had going on and that we've been subjected to, and the origins of that, where it came from, and who knew about it, who was having secret conversations with who, when, about what. I think that this is going to be a big week in that unfolding saga as well. And also because Chiron right now, which rules health and healing crises, is at the degree of 13 Aries right now, which is a bomb that failed to go off is now safely hidden from discovery. So again, that is talking about bombs, in regards to health and healing situations, circumstances, the Chiron influence, the Chiron frequency right now. So that, that whole situation could really come under deep scrutiny this coming week, even more so than it has this past week. And we might really find out or be presented with some alternative information to evaluate about what has happened. Mercury retrograde in square to Neptune in Pisces, and it may be having to relate to, I have Shilajit on my hand, sorry, the former president, because it's activating his specific sun sign degree, like out of all the degrees, it's just very ironic. And if you're into coincidences, maybe you could call it that, but I personally have found that coincidences tend not to be that, so I don't really entertain the idea of coincidences. That's just where I'm at. So yeah, it's a lot. So another interesting thing, so yeah, that Chiron, it's just, we might hear some very explosive information today in this week, specifically very strange, bizarre eruptions of information today, and it could relate to the former president in some way. So yeah. Also, another thing that is highlighted with this today, the energetics of today, there are multiples of things spoken about multiple times in the Sabian symbols. We have two Chinese men talking Chinese. We have three fledglings high in a tree. And the degree of Venus today is at 2 degrees of Cancer, two fairies dancing on a moonlit night. So, the way I'm reading this is, where's my page? So people doing things together or multiples of something might come up or be highlighted in some way, but also this is just a lot of chatter, talk, gossip, and rumor, scandal, heading into the week. Information spreading from one person to another. 2 people talking Chinese, 3 little birdies chatting up in a tree, 2 fairies dancing in a moonlit night. There's a lot of opportunity for the spread of information. And with the eclipse this week, with the Mercury retrograde in Gemini going to conjunct the sun and square to Neptune, and most importantly, the North Node in Gemini as well for the eclipse. It is all about revealing information, but it also causes a lot of confusion, and there is a lot of spin to it, and a lot of the truths that are coming out are trying to be manipulated still under this energetic. So we do need to be careful, and that's where that connection to our inner guidance system really comes in and becomes a big factor and is important, and we need to be using this energetic to cultivate that individually to guide us going forward. So we got all of that. We are in another week of massive changes going on as we approach this next eclipse on the 10th. This eclipse will be bringing in a lot of new things and aligning us with our proper purpose and path moving forward. The North Node, after all we've had to leave behind and let go of recently, especially with the lunar eclipse in Gemini and Sagittarius. So completely new beginnings and radically different and abrupt changes in course and direction are happening now. And a lot of this is coming from, like I've said, new perspectives, new ideas, new understandings about things, and what we are learning, coming to terms with now based on all that new information that we're assimilating and processing and integrating, and that's really making us into new people, and the things that our new understandings about ourselves, and what we are learning about ourselves and our relationships and our lives and our perceptions of reality, and entirely. So now new things are coming in and beginning to grow in a new direction with the sun, with the North Node. Like I said, and remember that North Node degree, new frontiers offer the pioneer new opportunities for experience. We're building a new world right now, and we're all being redefined in that process so that we can do it to the best of our ability and make, remember, Saturn is still in trine to Gemini. Saturn is retrograde right now, and Saturn is in trine to Gemini. This is the building frequency. Trines help us build things, and he's going backwards. So we're looking and reevaluating and reforming and restructuring and making new plans and making adjustments. And we need to remember, though, that we need to be very flexible and leave a lot of room for adapting and changing and going with the flow and the new things that we're forming and building going forward. But we have a lot of assistance. We're really, truly building the new world right now, and all of these things that we're having to let go of, to move on from, to grow out of, and to evolve, in a new direction from, down a new path, into a lot of times completely different experiences that we never, ever would have imagined or envisioned to ourselves. Here we are, and we are kind of looking around like, okay, what do I do now? But it's going to take a little bit of time for us to really process these experiences and these information. But right now it's all about observing, witnessing, releasing, surrendering to the changes that are happening, and having faith that this is all happening so that things can fall into better alignment for our personal, most positive fulfillment, experience, expression, and ability to grow to our potential going forward. So it's a big week, you guys. We're just in a really big time of year. And, a lot of times it would be nice if there was just not too much going on, and I could just come out here and make these cute little sweet, short, brief, to the point videos about the energetics of the day. But we are just in it. We are in it big time. This month is such a month of profound change and transformation in a year of insane amounts of profound and Mercury retrograde, profound and just strange and amazing transformation, and it's all happening and it's all going on. And it's a really amazing time to be alive, but it is also, pretty unsettling, but we're getting through it. And this is just another one of those weeks. By the time we get to the other side, we are going to be going in a whole new direction, and new things are going to be coming in. So maintain the faith, just try to surrender to the changes that are happening, because they're going to work out being for the best. Remember, Uranus is in square to Saturn, and this is putting things into the best proper alignment to form the future going forward. It's directly connected to aligning with our true path, our true purpose, what we're here to do, and all of the energy right now is working to help us build that going forward. But it's based on these understandings that we gain and breaking through the illusions and the dogmas that have kept us in limiting and self-sabotaging and patterns of life and attitudes and understandings and circumstances that have really diminished our growth and helped us from reaching what we're supposed to be actually doing. And that's what we're doing now. And so that we can do it right and build this new world in the way that it's meant to be. So I'll talk more about the eclipse as we get closer to it all week. But all week this energetic is operating, and we are under these influences. And I really do, you guys, it's not about politics, but I really do need to emphasize the presence of DJT and what goes on with him during this week. So I'm going to be doing that as well, because his purpose, his North Node, his sun, what he's meant to grow into and do, and his authenticity, his Uranus, is being activated by all of these energetics today, this week, and by this eclipse. It is almost exactly, it is 1 degree off of conjunction from his sun, and it is right there with his own personal sun, North Node Uranus conjunction. This whole thing is happening with Mercury. And for the eclipse, Mercury is also in conjunction. Mercury retrograde is in conjunction to the eclipse too. So lots and lots of exposing of information coming out this week, and he is directly related to this. And, you know, anyone who has this much energy at around, you know, 20 degrees of Gemini is going to be feeling it very strong this week, me included. This is actually only 1 degree off of conjunction with my ascendant. So I'm expecting the unexpected this week, and I'm going to do my very best to be able to get these videos out, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. But, yes, he is just very pulled into this, and all of the drama and everything that has gone on in the past 6 months, especially considering we got Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde, Mercury retrograde, now in conjunction to his sun today with Vulcan, and this eclipse happening right there with all of his planets. Yeah, his purpose, destiny, and authenticity is being activated by all this, and it is empowering him so much. So we should pay attention. There are going to be big things going on with him this week, and that could have a lot of, you know, things that extrapolate off of it that affect other people and the media and the rest of the world. So should be an entertaining week. A lot going on. We may not have much time to follow it because of everything that's going on with us personally, but it's going to be going on alongside of it. So this week may usher in a turning point. That's what I want to say. I think this may be a big turning week point we have going on. And also we have Uranus coming into exact conjunction with Saturn following this eclipse. So that is going to be another big thing that goes on too. So that is my video for today, guys. Little brief intro to the week, energetics for today. We have the moon with Uranus. That is things that make us unsettled sort of on an emotional level because of shocks, surprises, things coming out of the blue, corresponding to the fact that we have Mercury retrograde, conjunct Vulcan today at the 3 little birdies in the tree. Little birdie told me degree, so we'll see what it brings, but we are primed for an interesting week. And so if you guys like my video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think they would find this entertaining or intriguing or enjoying, or if they would like it at all. And leave me comments. I totally love you guys' comments. Join my Facebook group. I post over there, Aubrey Stars on Facebook, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my video for Tuesday, 1 day closer to our beautiful solar eclipse coming up this week. See you later, guys. Have a nice day.